All right. So thank you very much, Clarence, for the introduction. Yes, I have been in this industry for about more than 19 years, could be 20. I'm a registered agent of the United States government export-import bank. That will be the subject for today. What does it mean when you become a register of Exim Bank? It means that um, your name is in the website of Exim Bank and you are active. If you're not active, Exim Bank will take it away. Yeah, I mean, you will not be, and you have certain criteria to be active. So that's mean that you have different clients that you're taking care of right constantly. So we're going to be talking about how to mitigate the non-payment risk for exports. And by next week, we're going to start talking about how to mitigate the non-payment risk from all over the world, including domestic. What it means by mitigating the risk, which is coming very popular now with this COVID-19, with the mitigating the risk of getting sick with Dr. Fauci. But where this is what it means. It means that there's many exporters, they don't export the country that they don't know because they're afraid that they don't want to get paid, or they might export only because they're getting a letter of credit or because they're getting paid up front. But you don't want to grow that way. The only way to grow is to create risk, but to mitigate that risk. So what about if we can guarantee or insure the non-payment risk if you send merchandise anywhere in the world? So let's say, for example, Colombian people, they just ship to Colombia because they know Colombia. Or they just Latin America because they're Latinos. But why don't you ship to Jordan? Why don't you just send it to Russia? Or because I don't speak the language, or because I don't know the culture. But what about somebody, it will tell you, listen, who cares? I mean, we're going to do the due diligence for you. And if we're going to be able to approve the buyer, you just go ahead and you can sell it. If that buyer doesn't pay you on time, then we're going to pay you 95% of the invoice. So that's what we're going to be talking about. And also that insurance or that guarantee, it becomes a collateral. So you can give it to a bank, give it to a financial institution. They can use it as a guarantee. And now you can grow your business. And now you're going to be able to sell according to your power of selling and not your power of your company. What is the power of your company? The net worth, the capital gain that you get every year, and then you get the net worth. That's basically what it is. Banks will give you 50% what your company is worth. But we're going to give you the loan or the account receivable financing based on what you can sell. So that's the big difference. That's what we're going to be talking about. So we're going to have another presentation at 11:12. It's going to be in Spanish. And this one, well, it's going to be used hopefully for about 40 minutes. And then we're gonna answer any question. Yes, I've been with the Export Association with clients for a while now. We're planning to do many other seminars. Be on top of seminars from the Department of Commerce. Be on top of seminars that we're gonna be doing it. Hopefully, we're gonna be doing some interview in the near future for people who's working from home. We're trying to bring value. What I mean when I bring value means that I don't mind if you buy from another broker of Exim Bank. I'm just gonna give you the information, so you just go ahead and just make it happen in your business. We're 3 companies involved in these seminars. Like Global Trade Insurance is a registered agent for Exim Bank. Global Trade and Financing is a company who does the marketing, because if I tell you I want to give you an insurance for trade, you will not understand. Most of the company, they're looking for money. They're not looking just to mitigate the no-payment risk. That's a yes, but money, it doesn't mean yes, dollar. It means, it's like when you say rich and wealth. I mean, wealth and rich is 2 different things. So the same thing. You can move merchandise without money. You just using the leverage of somebody else's money so you can move it along. That's what the insurance does. So Global Trade Insurance is a registered agent for the United States government. We've been impacted also, so don't feel bad. We've been impacted with this coronavirus. We have 3 seminars already set, ready to go. I mean, we had Colombia, we had Mexico, we had Dominican Republic. We already talked with the embassies. The embassy, though, we had a date. I mean, but it's gone. I mean, we're gonna have to wait until this disaster ends so we can continue with our seminar. What do? We do seminars all over this region of the world, with the region. We do seminar in Latin America. We do seminar in Caribbean. Yes, to give them knowledge, because people, they have the wrong thinking of Exim Bank. Everything is about government. They think about, well, lately something good happened with the SBA. They gave money. If you don't have get money, so get working right now because more is coming. but this entity for the United States government is different. I mean, they had the misconception. Even the politicians, they had the misconception. They believe that Exim Bank is only for large business, and they say, oh, Boeing is the one who get the benefits, and GE and whatever. And in reality, that's ignorance. I mean, including, I'm sorry, with some politicians that say those things, but you just have the agenda. Well, basically what it is that Boeing and GE, they don't have a policy for Exim Bank. What they have distributors, and the distributors are the one who has the policy. Because if you go to GE, you don't want to ask for loan or for credit. They want to say, hey, get your own credit. I don't need you asking for credit. So the distributor is the one who give you the credit, and that's the one you're going to become. So basically, we give the information overseas what is really happening and with this entity. This entity is not regulated. It is every 5 years, but this president did it for 7 years. Every 5 years, is renewed by United States government, Congress, what we're going to be talking about. It's renewed, but it's self-sustained. If even have profit, and part of the profit of this organization, which is Exim Bank, they give back to the Congress to pay our taxes. So what is that we do? Exim Bank. Exim Bank is one of our sources. You can go to their website. Kind of confused. Yes, I understand. And also I don't know why the government, they make confuse some too much information. So I'm trying just to give you the whole in half an hour to see what's going on with this company and with this part of the government. What are we going to talk about it? It's going to be pretty quick. The financing and the mitigation of raw materials or equipments, and another program which is especially for exporters. Now, keep in mind, Exim Bank is not a bank. However, people call them Exim Bank because when it was created, it was bank. But then the banks, it becomes the regular banks that we know is the one who give the money. However, the Exim Bank give the guarantee or the insurance for the non-payment risk. So it's a full faith of the United States government guarantee. But Exim Bank is a mitigation of risk to promote export from the United States. So we're going to be talking about meat, and we're going to talk about trucks, about everything else that you export. Now, at trucks, it can be short term and it can be medium term. The definition of the medium or short term is by answering the question, who's going to be the final user? The final user is going to be the buyer, then it's going to be a medium term. But if the final user is going to be somebody else besides the buyer, there's going to be a short term. What it means short term? From 30 days to up to 360 days. 180 days to 360 days agriculture, or you have to give us a reason why you need so many days. Or from 0 days to 180 days, it depends on the industry, but the average, what I see all the time, 60 days, 90 days, 120 days. So those are the two programs that we have. The government created this entity after the Depression and in the 30s, 1934. It's too important. It's a supplemental tool. We're not going to finance what already exists. What the bank's already financing, we don't want to get involved in that. This is a supplemental tool. Has to be a reason why you need the Exim Bank. And I explained the detail, how is the qualification, everything else. So we don't want to be doing if the bank does loans for real estate, for buildings, we're not doing that. However, but the bank will not do a building financing overseas. And that's where we get in. So we are supplemental tool, basically. These agencies are export credit agencies. That means that in South Korea, there is an Exim Bank. In Spain, the name is CESI. And EDC is in Canada. Every country has one of these agencies, I mean, countries that are developed, that's going to promote their product. Being United States government Exim Bank, one of the best one, and has also has earned many awards. Some restriction applies. Military, we don't want to get involved in that. There's other organization for that. Shipping has to be from United States. We have to see some sort of repayment security, but you're going to see how liberal is this program, and I like it a lot. Country limitations, certain countries like Venezuela, Bolivia, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Cuba, we don't want to get involved in that. We know for that, for many reasons, either political or commercial risk. We don't want to have such a big economic impact in the United States, and the content must be made in the United States at least 51%. Now, on some other program, it has to be 100%. We have a country limitation. It's open. You can see it in the Exim Bank. You just go in country limitation. You just get in. You put the letter P of Peru. I mean, you just look at it, and you're going to have some annotation. And some annotations, that's when you need a broker, because many information you're going to find in the website, you don't know what the hell they're talking about. Remember, and we are there to assist you, to help you. We get paid in different forms. One of the ways that we get paid is by United States government. So we help you out so you can understand. So we come in like your partner when that happens. So what is it not to be covered is a non-US product. We don't want to be covered. We're going to be talking about that next week. How you're going to be able to finance products that they're not made in the United States. So if we're going to create loss of employment in the United States, we don't want to be covered that. And some products that is against humanity, then we don't want to be covered, of course. There are 3 different programs. There are 2 short terms. The 2 at the bottom, there are 2 short terms. And the one on the medium term, we're going to finance 85% of the contract or the invoice, and 100% has to be United States content. Means that if it's $1 million and you're going to come out with 15% down payment, that means $150,000. You're going to give them to the exporter. Remember, this medium term is we're going to do the finance to the company overseas, the company outside United States. There is a company in Mexico, a company in Bahamas. We're going to do the finance for that company. Your company is not being qualified for that. The only thing we're going to do to your company is to get a credit report. We're going to make sure that you don't have any legal issues. However, we're going to do all the finance to the company outside United States. So you have no risk at that moment. Your financial, you don't have to show it to us or anything. So what does that mean? It means that you're United States and you're selling, I don't know, you sell used trucks. And then somebody comes to you and say, you know what, I want $3 million of used trucks. And you say, well, I don't have $3 million. I don't have a loan. How do I want to buy it? So that's what the program is all about. Now you're going to use a supplier that's going to come out with the trucks. You be called the middle person, and then you're going to get your profit. But however, with the finance going to be to the buyer overseas. So we do finance 85% of the invoice, and in some occasion we can add local costs, like a building of houses. We can build houses over there. Some local costs might be able to finance up to 30%. Now the short term is the one from 1 to 360 days. And that means that we're going to finance 51% or more must be made in the United States. The last program we're going to look into it, which is going to be the multi-buyer. There's some benefits that you're going to see. They're quite different. But now we don't want to be talking so much about the one in the middle, which is short term, and the reason because very similar to the medium term, and also to the one that we finance to the exporter from the United States. So the last program we're going to look into it is going to be the multi-buyer program. The multi-buyer program is going to be it's include the overhead. We're going to get into that, and that's the policy insurance that we provide to the company in the United States. The other 2, which is a financing directly to the buyer overseas or outside the United States, on those 2 programs, the insured entity, the one we're going to guarantee the repayment is going to be the bank, any financial institution. You don't find the bank, it's okay. We know which bank does this. We know who to contact. It has to be everything shipped from the United States. Now, what is the coverage? Commercial risk, will be the bankruptcy, and it could be a slow payment. And political risk, any revolution or war could happen. So the insurance will kick off there, and we're gonna pay off the bank, or we're gonna pay you. So basically, that's what it is. You lose the license, your buyer lose the license. Let's say he has some kind of license to perform, and then if he loses the license, he doesn't perform anymore, then it's gonna be covered. So it's pretty good. It's almost everything is covered there. What is that we need from medium term and short term? We're not talking about the one that your company qualified. We're not talking about that one at this moment. We're gonna be talking about the company that your buyer is overseas. If you look at those items that we need, those items are in your business already, right? So you don't have to go for financial state. I mean, you don't have to go for business plan or feasibility study. We want to know how you're going to use the money. What is the purpose? But as simple as that. And more items that we need, but you must have it available. But the last part is the one you really need to go to get it. That's going to be the credit reference, bank reference, and reference for personal bank reference. So really, it's not really hard. That's the case. So far, we don't. I don't know if there is any question from anyone. If no, we're gonna go quick because right now it's going very fast the time. So, medium term, what is the rate? The rate is gonna be commercial rate. So it could be all the way from 3.5% to 6-7% interest rate yearly APR. APR might be another point or 1.5. Now, compared to many people, they say I have a project. The people they say I have a project because they don't know how to finance it, the things overseas. They don't know, they're lost. So they say I have a project. No, why don't you just convert the project into a loan? A loan is simple because we know that it's gonna qualify upfront. If I see the financial statement and I pull up the ratios, I know you're gonna qualify. However, I need to do due diligence and I need to learn about your business. If everything is positive, then we're gonna continue into that. So, what is the terms that we're going to give you? Over $350,000, we can go at 7 years. However, you have a clean energy, we can go up to 18 years financing. This is from the United States. A bank in that country, let's say Peru, Colombia, Bahamas, where we're going to provide the financing, a bank from there is not involved in this at all. That's the beauty. So when you're selling something and you provide financing to someone overseas, that's going to be the United States rate. You don't want to be their rate. If we include them, it's going to be more expensive. Now, this is some example. There is an insurance. You pay insurance, home insurance, car insurance, you pay all this insurance. This is an insurance to mitigate the non-payment risk. So let's say in Mexico, you get a buyer from Mexico. He wants to buy, I don't know, $1 million in product, right? So trucks, I mean, anything, houses, whatever it is. So the cost for that financing is going to be, let's say 5% interest rate per year, plus, let's say for private, you see government and private, between 2.9 to 6.5. Let's call them 5% is the mitigation of the cost. So the cost mitigation is 5%. So if I charge you 5% interest rate plus 5% the mitigation cost, it's going to be 1% per year. When I convert that into year, it's going to be 6% because it's 5% in 5 years, so 1% per year. So basically, and the same thing is for Argentina. It's a high risk right now. We have in Africa and anywhere you want to go that is open, we could do the finance. So there's certain things that are going to be very attractive in this program. As soon as you close the transaction, you have 6 months to pay. And we have a grace period. You want to do a housing, you want to do electrical plan, because that won't work right away, but we might give you a year and a half or 2 years grace period. Of course, it's going to be capitalized interest. And if it's interest could be adjustable, it could be fixed, that's negotiable. There's no deductible like any other insurance. The product is the collateral. There's certain cases that the product cannot be the collateral. We finance a TV station in Dominican Republic and the cable radio station. Sorry, the cable. We have to finance the cables that goes on the poles. What's happening is that once you install the cables, I cannot get the back. I cannot pull it off. So we have to work it out and negotiate what kind of instrument from the radio station, we're able to collect so we can use as a collateral. It doesn't have to be a real estate, it could be another equipment. So basically the product, but let's say if you send a truck, the truck, we can always take it out from you. We can get a collection agency. So that's mean that we can always, we use the truck as a collateral. No, we don't need the land as a collateral, or the company's gonna sign, of course, like any business. So we can transfer the risk. Let's say if you have a project, the company's new, but what's gonna happen is that, hey, I have someone who just inquired recently. It was in the last, from Tuesday, and if you don't qualify because you don't have a strong financial statement, find somebody else who qualified to become your partner, and that's going to be the guarantor of the loan. If you don't have something that we need, somebody else might have it. So that's a transfer of the risk. Use equipment is acceptable. You can use a co-finance. The 15% you don't have it, but you can get a loan from the bank. You can always use it, and then you're going to get like 100% financing. So, and you don't have to use the whole $1 million one time. You can use it in partial. Like I said, you start with $1 million because you're gonna be you're from overseas, and then you're gonna use $500,000 this month and $500,000 the next month. I mean, you can do that also, as long as we know how you're gonna use it. We're gonna skip the question because we're running out of time, but I want to give you as much as I can. Once the transaction is approved, there's 4 documents basically what you need. So it's very simple at one time. Project finance, I mean, try not to get in project finance. If it's more than $20 million, it will make sense, because project finances mean future asset and future income. And we have to go with feasibility study. We have to go business plan. You're gonna have to pay it to a third party. I don't wanna be doing that, but you're gonna spend money on that. And if you can convert that into a private, into a medium term, the program that we talk about it just now, then it's better. You're gonna be in a better shape so you can get more reason to close. But just talking about project, just to give you an idea, you can go back and listen and take a picture of this in the screen, or you can go into my website, and the website you're gonna see how to structure a project. I mean, you answer all those questions, it's gonna be fine. Very important when you present a project, all these elements must be working together. Or must you have an answer, and must you have to be in order with all of them if you're going to be the promoter. So short term is similar to the medium term for the qualification. I'll give you an example. One of my good friends, Kentucky Fried Chicken, he had a line of credit in Barbados, and then he buys the straw, the cups, and everything else from one of these line of credit. However, that medium term is for equipment. So really, it's very similar in the qualification for the different terms, basically. Now, let's talk about, after this one, let's talk about the real one that goes to your company. When it comes to short term, we have different programs. So we can go over that. That's why we do the seminars outside United States, but they're full seminar. Hopefully we're gonna have a live stream when we do the next one. So the process of the approval takes about 3 or 4 months. I have one time that I closed one transaction in 2 months. It's going to be depend how fast you provide the documents. You can take a screenshot and you can see it there, but we take you by the hand so we can get there. The process of disbursement is very simple. Like I said, that's the end of the transaction. Now let's talk about the multi-buyer policy. That's something that is very, very popular. Why this is very popular? We know it's coming a huge time for United States. California already reported that it's more than 20% export, and import went to 17%. So we're doing good. China is gonna having some issues of trust, so it means that we need to take opportunity. How are you gonna take an opportunity as an exporter? You need to start giving credit, and you have to mitigate the risk. Now this policy that I'm gonna be talking about is gonna be about your company to be the one who has the policy insurance with you. Now, if you have a $500,000 laying around in your business, you can use it. You can be your own bank. You don't need to get a financing. What I'm talking about is not about financing. I want to be doing that in another session, another week. But what I'm going to be talking about right now is going to be about mitigation of your invoice of non-payment risk. So that's mean feel good when you send some items overseas and you know you're going to get paid. 95% of the worst scenario is the buyer doesn't want to pay for whatever reason. So that's what I'm talking about. So first of all, what are the companies that we're looking for? Any small business, any of those business. We need you just to have like a year experience in export. That's what we're looking for. We're looking at 51% US made. However, there is a policy which is express insurance and has something, that is the only policy that has that. You can include your overhead. You can include your overhead in your cost. So that means that I have a client that he buys from Macy's, from other places, Target, and all those are the outlets he provides to the outlets in other countries. All those Calvin Klein or whatever brands it is and clothes, they're all outside United States. However, because there is this cutter that becomes a United States, and because of that, and the label is very intensive because you have to get a container and separate little pieces and all that, then it becomes United States made. So you have to just be aware that most of your overhead costs and this policy can be included. And in addition to that, you got another beautiful things about this program, aggregated invoice. What does that mean? It means that if I have this pen and it costs $30 and it's made in Hong Kong, and I have this cup that is made in the United States and it costs $70, if I place both in an invoice, I'm gonna get the full coverage because the whole invoice is more than 51%. Means that the product is not incorporated. Got it? So that's the aggregated invoice. So we're gonna insure 95% of the invoice. That's what is gonna happen. We want to make sure that you don't have previous standard policy. That means that you don't have so much experience in Exim because express insurance is only for company that's starting with Exim. We don't want you to have that experience. $7.5 million of export credit average in the last 3 years has to be less than that for you to qualify for this program. That's pretty. If somebody who sells more than average $5 million per year in credit is not a beginner, so that company will qualify for the standard policy. And also net sales in different countries. We don't accept cash. Of course, this is only mitigation of risk. Basically, maximum 10 buyers. That's what you can have. If you have more than 10 buyers on the policy, you have two options: either move to the standard policy, or you eliminate one buyer from the policy and you add another one. Basically, how does it look when you have a policy like this? Your company is over there on top as a $250,000. You can have one buyer for $50,000 in Bahamas, approved, one for $100,000, one for $200,000. If you add this, it's $250,000. But what about if I give to the one in Honduras $500,000 credit? That means $650,000 credit. So what I need to move, what the government's going to be doing is going to be increased because now you need more credit on insurance. So basically, we're going to move up according to what you need. Or also, what about if the way it is right now that you see it, however, it's at $350,000. $350,000 is more than $250,000, but you don't want to sell to everyone at the same time. But at least you have the buyer already approved, ready to ship, basically. The application is very simple. You just sign the last page and you just write whatever you want on the first and second page. And then I'm going to go over with you, and that's going to be it's like a workshop for me. And then I'm going to create I have my own portal. I'm going to create a portal for you because I'm a registered agent for Exim Bank. I want to create a portal, and then I want to give you the policy already done. So really, you're going to just revise it and submit. That's basically like this. What application do I need for you buyers outside the United States? None. Nothing. There's no application. Let's see what happened there on the qualification of your buyers and a little bit. So the prices of the policy, let's put it the most common. You're going to give somebody a 60 days term insurance, and you're going to give them $100,000, a container of a container, $100,000. Food containers normally is about $40,000, $50,000. Some of them are $30,000. Well, let's say you send 2 containers of food. That's $100,000 they're sending. How much are you going to pay to the government? $650. Wow. That's it. That's what you're going to pay. What you gonna pay me? Nothing. You don't pay me anything. The government will pay me. And every time you ship, you pay the government, they won't pay me. So I become your indirectly the partner. I want to help you. The more I can help you, the more you're not expert in terms, right? So that's basically the way it is. It's very simple. And that's make you as a real agent of Exim Bank when you get paid by that agency. So that's important to say. So be careful because a lot of scam over there, people saying things wrong and saying that the government has somebody called me, hey, the government, Exim Bank has $600 million ready. No, they don't have a $600 million ready for you to get. They just allocate $600 million to a country, but now they need to qualify. So people, they just get confused. So, okay. So you have a buyer that is $100,000 or less. What do you need from that buyer? You want to see that the buyer has 3 years in the same business. We need a credit report or trade reference and his ledger experience with you and or 2-year financial statements. In other words, we're asking you for one document. So credit report, the government is giving away free the Dun & Bradstreet for a small business. So it means that in certain occasion, you give me the registration of the company in that country, that means has more than 3 years, and you just give me the name, telephone, or whatever it is, I mean, the information of the company. And that's enough to give them $100,000 under your policy. Simple, more simple than that, it cannot be. Now, what's happening if we're gonna look for $500, $500,000? Same thing as before. However, credit report is a must. However, the government is giving you the credit report, right? Now, you only have to provide the same registration, which is registration is only an option, it's not a must. That's a way that we can show the government that it has 3 years in the same business. If you have another document that can prove that it's more than 3 years, then it's okay. But now, the trade reference is that documents you need to provide up to $500,000 and a 2-year financial statement. It doesn't say it has to be audited. Yes, it doesn't say it has to be signed, right? Just provide the financial statement, provide your reference of the experience, and that's it. Financial statement, yeah, it has to be signed. I'm sorry. Well, I mean, it has to be signed by what I meant before, not to be signed by the accountant, to be signed by the owner, basically. So that's simple as that. That's $500,000 for two documents. I mean, it's crazy. So let's see that. Now, $500,000 to $1 million. 3 years in the same business, credit report, we need it. But however, the government is giving away. Trade reference, audit the financial statement with 2-year disclosure of financial condition. Now we need some kind of opinion of an accountant there. We're talking more than $500,000. Now let's see, what do I need to look into the financial statement where we're getting into $500,000? There are a few ratios that I need. First of all, exposure maximum is at 50% of the net worth. The operating net profit of the recent must be positive. Remember, here we need that. So that's meaning the other one, we don't need that because we don't have to show the financial statement. Liability divided by net worth has to be at 2.5 or less. And the current ratio has to be equal or less than greater than 1.25. Those are few ratios that we get out. Now, from $1 million to $10 million, same as before. However, this time the financial statement has to be audited. I will highly recommend it, even though say all financial with notes and auditor opinion, my recommendation has to be audited. And an interim financial statement, that's mean from January to the first until the last quarter. I mean for the year, the current year. What I'm looking for on the financial statement, the same as before, but one more ratio. EBITDA divided by debt service, at least to be 1.5. So I'm pretty sure there's a lot of questions. If there's no question, that means you are a great listener. If there's no question, but I keep you keep update on everything that the Department of Commerce has available. Here's some information. Going to Enterprise Florida, going to the Department of Commerce, learn about export import. There's a lot of information coming out right now that before they used to have value, used to be at cost. Get the opportunity right now to learn because everybody's giving information from the home because it would not many there not much to do, so we have used to get it vital. So this one is one of them that is on April 14, 18 to 28, 20, 26. Every information, you just get the information about all different countries. That's what I recommend. So any questions so far? If there is any, if not, we move along with the next one.
I have maybe a little bit of clarification, Louis, on that 50% that the product needs to be 51% U.S. made. Can you explain that? Because I think you went a little bit too fast, and I think that's a really important point that people misunderstand that point. Can you go over that 1%?
Okay, I just opened the microphone because we can talk there, but the 51%, we have three different policies. We have the medium term, we have the short term, and we have the multi-buyer policy. Let's put the multi-buyer policy, which is the policy that goes into your company here and export, right? So means that policy, we're gonna put it on the side. Let's talk about when we qualify the company overseas. That means the company outside United States. That's the company we're qualifying. Okay, and those two types of financing, the product has to be United States made, at least 51% for the short term. Means that this telephone, for example, has to be incorporated. Listen to this. This telephone has a cover. The cover is not incorporated. It's a plastic. This one is the phone. What happens if the screen of the phone costs $40 and it's made in Hong Kong, but the rest of the phone is made in the United States and it costs $60? Then I'll be able to insure the whole telephone. The other way around, I will only insure the amount that is United States made. Now, with the medium term, the one that the end user is the buyer, that's mean a truck. We gonna have 85% has to be made in the United States. Now, we have those two policies. Now let's talk about the other one, the one that we put on the side. That's the multi-buyer policy. The multi-buyer policy is the one that we're gonna give the policy to your company in the United States. It works like this. The plastic is not incorporated, right? Because it's independent. The plastic costs $30 and the telephone itself is made in the United States, costs $70. Now I can put on I can insure the whole, both of them, right? Even whatever it is, the percentage as well as 51%. That's one option. Now the aggregated invoice, that's unique for the express insurance for the small business. Now, this cup had nothing to do with the phone, nothing to do the cup with the phone. Even though it says Russia from the World Cup, that's a souvenir, by the way, on the World Cup 2018. But even they say Russia, but it's made in the United States, let's say, this costs $30. The telephone is made in the United States. Oh, sorry, I fixed it up. Okay, the cup is made in Russia, it's $30. The telephone is made in the United States, it costs $70. It's not incorporated, and the other one, it has to be incorporated, remember. And this one, as long as I place both of them and the invoice, I'll be able to insure. So that's an aggregated invoice. Perfect. That's a little step when we report it. All right. That's the way it goes.
Thank you, Louis.
All right. So I don't know, is there any question, or if I don't, let me see if able to see.
Questions, clarification.
Okay. Yes, Victor Hugo Salgado. Yes, long time. Hello, how are you? We've been for many, many years. I know Victor. Yeah, I can see here your message. My greetings too. So,
Louis, when you get a chance, please put your contact information on the screen so everybody can see it.
There you go. There is a contact. So, guys, you've been a great listener because you have no question. So we're gonna have the next one at 12 noon. It's gonna be in Spanish. So we look forward to have you, and you have a excellent exporting season product from United States. Remember, it's coming up the explosion right now. Remember what Napoleon Hill says. He said, out of every adversity, which the adversity is right now, the coronavirus, there is a seed of equal or greater value. You have to find the seed for this disaster we're having right now all over the world. All right, so you guys have a great time. I look forward to see you in Spanish in about 10 minutes. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, all of us, all of you guys. Bye-bye.